Hello, welcome back to the channel. Week 10 of the BCS podcast
Week
into week 11, reviewing week 10. We have the college football playoff rankings coming out in, what does that say? I don't know.
37 minutes.
37 minutes. So maybe we can live react to them in the middle of it and give you a breaking news from there. But yeah, how's everyone's weekend?
It was good. The Lions belt to ass again. Best team in the NFL. Shocker. We're stealing the Browns players now, so life's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as Adarius tweeted out this morning, SMH, he was pissed that he might have had to stay in Cleveland. That was tough.
That was not why he tweeted that out.
And then instantly, once he got traded, he changed his bio from Browns to Lions. Instantly. Didn't even wait a minute.
Yeah.
So it was a good weekend for most people. Not so much me or Penn State fans.
Hey, look, both you and Penn State at least led in the game.
Yeah.
Small wins.
Yeah. So
and I believe you guys led by the same score too. So
yes, they both went up 10-0, and then just proceeded to get absolutely stomped. I think Michigan played the best out of the three of them, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah, they probably did. From what I saw. So yeah, let's get started. First game, Minnesota, Illinois. Minnesota goes into Illinois, wins in a game that I tried to say that Illinois was going to win, and everybody said no, and I felt stupid about it because that's
the week of me, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Wolverine Darius Taylor is an absolute problem right now. That kid, sneakily, like if you look at the numbers he's been putting up recently, he's up there in terms of Big Ten backs. Like he's giving Caleb Johnson a run for his money right now. I'll tell you right now. And seriously, if you look at Minnesota, I know our good friend Chap, obviously diehard listener of the show.
Shout out to PJ Fleck, he loves him.
Yeah, PJ Fleck had that thing where it's like we took a capsule of self-belief, determination, and good values.
Yeah, of Sprite. They said of Sprite or whatever.
They're 5-0 since then.
Yeah.
You could have argued they got hoed by Michigan in the refs by that game. And then before that, they almost beat UNC if it wasn't for a horrible kicker. Minnesota could be 7-1 or 8-1 right now. In the legit world, they'd be almost a playoff team. What the hell is going on? Listen, I was super against the expanded playoff. I'm okay with the NIL and portal, but it's done everything it's wanted to. I mean, we have some bad random teams like making plays. I'm loving what's happening right now. I mean, the state of college football couldn't be better right now. Yeah. All the teams suck, but it's a lot of teams.
Yeah. There's only a very few very, very good teams. The next game, Northwestern wins at Purdue 26-20 in overtime. I didn't watch a single minute of this game.
They played Hudson Card again? What the hell happened?
I don't know.
Well, the overhit, they won. Good for Northwestern.
Yeah.
Almost another bowl game. If they get a bowl game, that coach needs like coach of the year again because he got it last year. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, and wasn't there over under like 2.5 this year?
2.5 again. Yep.
They just can't.
But you know what? Unfortunately, that would mean they need to beat the likes of Ohio State, Michigan, or Illinois. 2 out of the 3.
There's a chance.
I'm not gonna say who they're gonna beat.
Bro, I'll tell you right now that it's gonna be like a 6 or 7 point spread if we're lucky.
There's a chance. There's a chance. The next game, UCLA at Nebraska. Man, the Nebraska story is going like this again. It's doing the same thing again. It's tumbling down.
Who called this outright?
Yeah.
Listen, Nebraska and 6 wins doesn't happen often, if ever, in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Look, man. I mean, this UCLA team, if they actually get some funding behind the program, which I know they won't, they got really good foundation going on right now. Like they're playing tough. They're turning people over. They're an absolute monster. And they're putting up numbers.
I mean, they're that school in LA in California.
In case you didn't know.
I don't know if you know. Didn't know.
In case you didn't know.
It's in the name, but in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska's offense, they asked Matt Rule what he thought of their offense.
People were lying about fake Mahomes.
And he said, yeah, good question. That's all he said. They asked about his offense, and he said, yeah, good question. So I think there is some
Dana Holgerson today as the analyst.
Yeah. So, there's a strong chance. If you look at their schedule, they're 5-4. Okay.
Yeah.
They started off 5-1. there's a chance they play USC. Okay, that's no gimme at USC. They
Now
play
a gimme.
Wisconsin. What?
I think it's a gimme now, but yes, we'll talk about it in a minute.
But I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that.
That's a loser leaves town game.
Yeah,
One of those teams is not making a bowl game.
They play Washington or Wisconsin, who Wisconsin's 5-4 too. So one of those two teams is making a bowl game, and then they play at Iowa at night. Like there's a strong chance that, I mean, 6 wins maybe they might lose out, and if they lose out, there needs to be questions about
that. Would be a sick game if they had to win at Iowa. Yeah. On what it's the Friday game usually, right? I don't know if you can tell on this, but usually it's a Friday night game.
Yeah, it is. It is a Friday night game.
It's a Friday night game. Yeah, it's
that'd be a sick, like, can Nebraska make a bowl game standalone Friday night Fox game? Nice.
It's yeah. I mean,
that game last year. Remember how fun that game was last year?
Yeah, it was like that was
13
to 10.
It was the lowest over under in the history of college football, and it comfortably hit under.
It was like 31.5 points, and I'm pretty sure the final score was
like 28.
Oh, it might have been 28. The final score was like 10-7 or 13-7.
It was 10 or 13-7, and there was 3 turnovers in the last 4 plays.
Yes.
And then the fat guy that was the fullback playing quarterback got it down there, and they had the back.
And then he threw a pick. And then he threw a pick.
Never taken a kick in his life. Drills a 40-yard walk-off field goal. It was like awesome. Yeah. My dad, who does not like college football at all, well, he's a Tennessee fan, but other than that, he was sitting there watching the game, and he's like, "This is awesome." I go, "This is Big Ten football, baby. This is pure." I go, "None of that SEC 50-40 nonsense. This is 10-7 American ball."
The second half of that game, I just looked it up for our benefits. Hold on, I got to figure it out.
What was the final score first?
It was 13-10. Iowa won.
Oh my!
This was the second half. Punt, field goal by Nebraska to tie the game up at 10. Punt, miss field goal, punt, interception, field goal. That is Big Ten football at its finest.
Absolutely. I mean, whatever happened to that quarterback, by the way, the Brock Purdy's little brother?
I don't have any idea.
I don't know, but
then we'll move on to the last 2 games before we touch on our games. First, we'll start off USC at Washington. Washington wins. Miller Moss. I don't know what happened.
The last play of the game, that right tackle just decided not to play.
Yeah,
I don't know if he his controller didn't connect or something. The guy literally just jogged past him and he got smashed in the ground. They talk about it crazy. This morning, they announced they're going to the backup, whose name I think it's Jordan Mailata. This kid was awesome.
Yeah, he was
high on the Blake nerd list of quarterbacks because he was from UNLV last year. Dude was an absolute beast. He's starting now. Jacoby Lane and tweeted out I hate my life. One of the receivers. Zack Branch entered the portal already. Miller Moss is about to enter the portal. This team's completely given up, and I cannot wait until Lincoln Riley is the head coach of the Chicago Bears next year.
Oh
man. Imagine. We got predictions already. All right. The last game of the night, my lock of the week, which coasted, and I mean coasted over.
I mean, 3-0. You might have been whoa.
Yeah. And 3-0 at the end of the first. I was like, oof. And then Caleb Johnson happened. This guy is unbelievable. I mean,
monster.
Unbelievable. Breaks tackles, gets like 12 yards to carry on carries that he should just not be getting close to that.
Is he a senior? Because he's going to get a lot of money thrown at him.
3 rushing touchdowns, 135 yards. I mean, Brendan Sullivan looks a little more comfortable. He only had to throw the ball 10 times, and they won 42
Johnson's a junior.
Yeah, he's a junior, and where's he from?
Hamilton, Ohio. He hates you guys, though, so have fun.
Yeah. 42-10. The over-under was 40.5, and Iowa covered it by themselves. Beautiful. It's so weird because Wisconsin looks so good some weeks, and then they just look like they're just not ready to play.
They are literally a roller coaster team, and it's been up and down the whole season. So, I mean, it is what it is you're still kind of getting the Luke Fickell guys in right now. You still have the previous regime's players in, which I didn't think were that good at all.
No.
So give Luke next year, and then we'll go from there. But if he doesn't turn around by next year, Wisconsin's that seat's going to get hot, like real hot.
I think it's already getting that, surely.
Yeah. It's interesting
can,
because well, I'll start. Go 10-0. Nick Marsh, unbelievable touchdown catch, and then
awesome catch. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm surprised I didn't see it on Twitter anywhere. I'm not even like messing around.
No,
like,
they started posting it
that
after.
everywhere.
Historic day for him. Now leads the all-time MSU freshman record, which is really low. I think it's like 491 or something. Which for a freshman, I mean,
491 would be my leading receiver this year.
Yeah, huge catch, and then kind of defense looked out of it. I mean, they kind of just. I mean, we had two corners go down in the first half. Chuck Brentley got hurt, played unbelievable in the first half, and everybody's like, he's playing his best game of the year, and then gets crushed. Mistakes again. They just kill you. And then Childs gets hurt in the third quarter, and it just goes absolutely tumbling down from there. Couldn't stop.
How hurt was he? Was it like he got hurt, air quotes, like he took a hit and
he
killed?
We were still in it at that point. He got crushed.
Next week?
He got crushed.
We don't have a game this week.
Oh, then you're good. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, he got crushed.
I literally, the guy behind me just goes, they scored again, being Indiana, and Childs is hurt. I'm like, okay, is that like a
No, he was really hurt. And then Indiana just, I mean, they are really proving why there's going to be a potential, I don't know when they play Ohio State, but like 10-0 versus 10-0
after us,
or 10-0 versus 9-1 matchup. I mean, they're good. I mean, they will
be 10-0. Correct.
Yes.
Yes. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but they will surprise some people when they get to the shoe, and they're legit. Like, they have weapons all over the field.
They did a crazy thing is they took away their logo and they compared them to Michigan's team last year on offense,
and it's identical.
Yeah, like their efficiency is unbelievable. And I was like, whoa, hey,
and I'm like,
take it easy.
And I think we need to start. I think people need to stop saying, well, they haven't played anybody, because even when they play teams that are a little worse than them, they are not losing. They are not winning games by less than double digits. Like, they are blowing teams out, and they're proving it week after week. And I mean, it's tough to question them anymore. But I mean, we might be looking at 11-1, potentially 12-0 Indiana. I mean, they could.
I mean, they're going to be 11-1, and they're going to have played one competent football team.
Yeah.
God bless them. Finally, you know what? If it was any other team, I'd be pissed, because it's like, dude, you're at least were the bitch boy in the East for a long time. Like, if this was some West team and got another bullshit ass schedule, I've been pissed. They at least took their licks, so that's why I'm not totally a hate on Indiana.
They deserve this. They do deserve this.
For years they had to do Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan every single year,
and they barely beat us. They were before this game. They were like 50-16 or 50-18 all time against us. So it's like
they got a little streak going on against you, don't they?
No, we won the last year.
No, well, when was the year that?
That was 2 years ago. They won.
Yeah. Horrible. Yeah, the best field goal.
When I found out, I was like, you guys have a spittoon? What the hell is that?
It's a spit. Yeah. They try to hand it to Kurt Signetti after the game, and his players yelling at him, spitting it. He picks it up, and he goes, yeah, no. And he just hands it right back to the player.
Spat on that thing.
Yeah, he did not want to spit in the cup. So, yeah, I mean.
It's a spittoon, not a cup. And that thing looks like it's heavy.
Yeah,
it does look like it's heavy.
Yeah, it's a two-hander for sure.
Awesome.
All right, Blake, go ahead.
Speaking of spitting, Trayshawn Holden absolutely lit us up. No, interestingly enough, in this game, I think this is like maybe the best Michigan played all year. I'm like, I know this sounds probably insane.
No, I watched. Yeah, I agree.
Like, other than like horrific coaching decisions, Michigan played real well. I mean, Davis Warren was slinging the thing. Granted, it was only to Colson Loveland. I was talking to my mom about this in the stands. I was like, look, this is the benefit of not opting out of a shit team, because it's like Michigan can't throw a forward pass, but Colson Loveland had 112 yards. Like, he was dotting people up. Again, this is the part that pisses me off as a Michigan fan, is if that's the number one team in the country, this sport is at an all-time low because that team is not that good. I know that we broke Tez Johnson. You're welcome, Cozzi. He's probably out for the year. He took one tackle from a real Big Ten tough team, and he broke his collarbone. Mind you, the guy that tackled him is from Texas A&M or from Tennessee, Wesley Walker. But ref show a little bit. Some people are saying. I guess I didn't see it. Clearly, I guess it was clearly not a touchdown on their touchdown drive to start the game.
It was not.
Apparently, one person from me was like, it didn't look like he caught that. I'm like, who cares? But then they go down, they muff a punt, we score. I'm like, okay. Then they walk down 6 plays, 75 yards. Basically, they had their way on offense in the first half. But then once again, Michigan stuffed them in a locker in the second half. And when we scored that touchdown to go down, I think it was down 14. I'm like, how are we in a game right now?
No, you cut it to 11. It was 28-17.
Oh, no, I think it was 12 because he should have gone for 2. You're right.
Yeah.
He went down 11, and I was like, what the hell are you doing, Sharon? You're right. Okay.
Yep.
And then they got a field goal to make it 14. That's what it was. And then you have a minute. Where is it? 4th and 5 with 7 minutes to go in the game. Okay. Mind you, if you look at the box score of Michigan, Mullings had 8 carries. Well, first of all, what the hell are you doing?
Hold on.
Our leading, we had Donovan Edwards, the leading rusher. We're down with 7 minutes left in the game, and we have no business being in this game, mind you.
Correct.
And they run a triple, like a delayed Philly special pass to our backup running back quarterback who got decapitated by a camera on the sidelines.
I don't even know what you guys were doing at that point because I'm like, wait, what did they just do? Like, you guys were getting a few yards per carry. And you went away from the run, and it's like, I don't understand why you went away from the run at that point. Like, I get that but there was still 7:30 left, and if you score a touchdown there, you're down by 7.
Yeah, the whole 2-quarterback system. We thought we figured it out against Michigan State, but the problem was in this game. Every time he came in, Oregon wasn't dumb like Sparty. No offense, Zack. And they literally had 11 in the box. The farthest guy, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Their farthest back safety was 8 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Are you being cordial with Sparty after the past week, which you did?
Yes.
It's weird.
8 yards off the backs.
It's
like
weird
Oregon. Literally, I was like, they got like a red zone defense in, and it's like we're at midfield.
And like you would think Michigan would be like, yeah, let's take a risk and throw the ball. Yeah.
Well, I will say there was one play. If you want to know the state of Michigan football, it was an orgy design rollout pass to our fullback in double coverage. But Orgy threw the ball away. First time in his career. So, hey. But Orgy had an elite stat line, 1 for 3 for 1 yard. Pretty elite. It's just crazy. The whole thing's nuts. But
did you see that?
Run that crazy goal line play. Thankfully, it was away from me, so I couldn't really see what the hell was going on. I called Donovan Edwards past that play. Not even lying to you. I didn't really expect Samaj to throw it. But yeah,
that was like my first text.
Oregon, we need to have a conversation. Oregon, talk about what's it called? We have never been there before. They're running hurry up plays, 1st and goal. You scumbag.
Yes. They covered the spread.
I told everyone
to
take Oregon. Exactly. I told everyone and their mother to take Oregon. So Dan Lanning's officially on spread watch. That behavior is what James Franklin does when he knows the number. So he's officially on. If your coach knows the spread, that helps your juice out. But I mean, that was just embarrassing. I mean, the thing too is the funniest thing is how you know they have never been there before. A, they're acting like it's a Super Bowl. B, Oregon fans, dude. They only got loud when they scored this last touchdown. Like, even when they were up 14 all game, they weren't talking crazy or going nuts behind me. They were doing nothing.
Because they are just used to it at this point.
Whatever. Dylan Gabriel missed 3 or 4 wide open touchdowns. I'm not impressed with Oregon. I understand the score looks bad, but we really were in this game. If Michigan had a competent roster, like an offense, we'd be in this game. And I am never going to forgive this team for wasting now that Josiah Stewart is flying up mock draft boards, potentially 3 first-round picks in the defensive line. Like, it is so embarrassing that we have the best defensive line in the country, and it's not close based on PFF grades, whatever you want to grade it. Our 4 D line guys up front will beat anybody in the countries, and we just cannot stop people on 3rd and long. Our 3rd and long, I think we're legit 120th in the country in 3rd and long. It's ridiculous. Like, Michigan State was running for probably 15 yards of carry on 3rd and long. It was hysterical, and I know Oregon was doing the exact same thing. But
it's nuts. Was
this
Mason
Birch
Graham
guy that's back from injury, 0 sacks against Michigan. We have like 2 or 3 idiots on the O line. So
was Mason Graham on the edge again?
nah, not this game. No, but
No, okay. We figured that out this game, huh?
Mason Graham and Will Johnson will forever be love. I love those guys forever. What they're doing right now, they very easily could opt out with very legitimate medical reasons, but they're both trying to fight through it. Will, I think they said he's going to try to come back this week, which would be dumb, but it is what it is. And if he comes back, Indiana, watch out. Because think about it, dude. Michigan was down their top 2 corners. We started a FCS All-American junior and a freshman who never has played legit snaps in his career. And we were down major. You look at our freaking injury list. It was like the whole defensive backfield. And we held what? I think Gabriel only had 290 yards passing. Like, again, this Oregon team is not all that. And there's a team you should be taking to the Big Ten. I can't say what team it is, but hey, Cozzi, how was your weekend?
Hey, they have a big block O on their jersey.
No.
One big quote, because you brought it up for this elite stat lines. I just wanted to mention this before we get into it. There was a stat line in the NFL game this week. I'm pretty sure 2 quarterbacks at one point were 1 for 4 for 1 yard and a touchdown, and 1 for 3 for 0 yards and a touchdown. I forget who it was. I think it was Jaden Daniels and whoever they played, but it was insane. Pretty elite stat lines there.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You saw the Jaden Daniels thing?
Yeah, that was nuts. I'm like, they have combined 3 yards.
Yes, they combined
for 2 touchdowns.
Yes, 3 yards and I think 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah,
something crazy.
All right, Cozzi.
Okay. Well, anyways, as I sit here and have a nice piece of apple pie while I listen to you guys, just going to say, as tonight is election night, all eyes are on one state right now. And all eyes on Saturday were on one state for America's game of the week, Pennsylvania. And man, I didn't disappoint because that team from the great state of Ohio prevailed. And not just prevailed in the way I wanted to see us prevail, in the trenches. Finally, a team for the Buckeyes went out. Not only did they win on their own terms, they bullied the front 7 of Penn State to end that game. They bullied and imposed their will on them. Now, overall, you started out the game. It was a little rough. And I tweeted out about it when it happened. So you go down 3-0, great drive by Penn State to start out. And you're like, okay, good. It was bend, don't break, whatever, etc. And then Will Howard does the unthinkable and just throws up the worst pass ever. And I mean, it was bad. It was dude didn't stare, just tried to force it to JJ, and it was picked, and it was a pick 6. And it's okay, the main key that I will remember if we make a national championship run, we win the Big Ten, whatever happens, the first person to go over to Will Howard was Travion Henderson. And I immediately said, leader on this team, 32. He went straight to Will Howard and said, shake it off. Got in his ear. I don't know exactly what was said. I'd love to know what was said. It was a outstanding moment. And I even said, I actually did tweet it out right when it happened. I said, this will be the turning point of the game. Sure enough, turning point of the game. We go down, we score. They go 3 and out. We go down and score again. It's 14-10. They go 3 and out again. And we go right down the field, go for it on 4th down in a play that I don't know how much you guys watch this game.
Every play.
What are you talking about?
Every play.
You know which play I'm talking about?
Yes.
To Jelani Thurman, where he just bobbles it And it's just like, it was just like a up and down reaction of, holy crap, what are you doing? Oh, we caught it. Oh, no, we didn't. Oh, we caught it. And then we get the first down. And it felt like it took like 8 years for that play to take place. And then you have this awesome block by Travion Henderson down by the goal line. He plows the guy over, and Will Howard fumbles the ball at the 1 yard line, and it goes out of bounds through the back of the end zone, over the pylon. Was literally, if it was an inch more to the left, that's out of bounds at the 1.
The first of 2 plays where you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yes.
Literally, I was driving the Michigan game at this point. Like, I had choppy service, and I'm like, did that go to the end zone?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, God damn it, Penn State. I go, usually you take 4 quarters to blow this lead. You blew it in 2. What the hell?
Yeah, and then not only that, so they've blown the lead. They've gotten every single break. They've done what we usually do to them with the defensive touchdown early at some point during the game. You had everything breaking your way. And like, obviously there were some breaks that went our way at the end of the half.
That was the other play where I was like, what the hell just happened?
Literally, I can't believe it. Like, that was an awesome
terrible jump ball. Iggy holds the hell out of whoever the hell he was guarding, gets down to the 3 yard line. I'm like, oh shit, I was expecting 3 here. We're getting 7.
Yeah, exactly.
But Penn State's offense in the red zone. Who was I thinking?
And then you just throw it up like that, and it's like, okay, like, thank you for the gift. We're glad. But it was still an outstanding play. I mean, still an unbelievable, outstanding play by him. And then you kind of go into half, and it's like, okay, we came out of the second half, and it was like, okay, we went right down the field. We kicked a field goal. Unfortunately, we had to settle for a field goal there. And at that point, I was like, okay, you're keeping it within 7. So if like something crazy happens and they get like, because I felt like every break except for like 1 or 2 went their way. Everything was lining up for Penn State. Everything was lining up for something crazy to happen. And look, the last time they beat us in 2016, it was a 21-7 game. They kicked a field goal, then they got a touchdown, and it was 21-17, and we went down to take a 7-point lead, and they blocked the field goal and returned it for a touchdown. And you just got like this little bit of like, okay, there's a little bit of hope for them, this and that. And then you get to the fourth quarter. I mean, we get the ball. We're up 17-13, and we took 5 minutes off the clock. We went down, and we kicked the field goal, and I said, okay, it's 20-13. Just got to hold them, got to hold them, got to hold them. I mean, Penn State comes storming down the field. I mean, great drive. I mean, they literally got down to 1st and goal with like, I'm going to say what, like 2 to 3 minutes into that drive.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, they got 1st and goal. And I had this weird feeling when they ran the ball on 1st and 2nd and goal. I'm like, dude, we're going to stuff them here. Like, they're not going to be able to move the ball. The defensive trenches there came up massive. I mean, massive. I have never seen us play that well on defense to where we are so bend and don't break. It finally felt so damn good because that's what's been struggling with Ryan Day's teams. The trenches are terrible and they're awful. And then you get into this 4th and goal, and dude, the first option being covered by Downs, awesome, outstanding.
He played well.
Actually, sorry, my bad. The first option was actually covered by Sonny Styles. Downs had the guy in the middle of the field,
yes,
which he covered, which everyone wants to complain and say it was pass interference and all this stuff. Dude, Alark literally just tried to rocket that thing in there. That wasn't being caught by anyone.
He loves the 0 chance this ball gets completed ball.
Yes. I don't understand what he was looking at. I mean, he rocketed it in there.
On the first field goal, he did the same thing. He threw that ball into the stands.
Exactly. So I was like super confident with that. And I was like, okay, we get the ball. And this is what I kind of knew that we were going to like I didn't want to jinx anything, obviously, but after Judkins got 9 yards, and then we had Judkins get 6 yards after that, and then you had Judkins get a 15-yard run 3 plays in a row.
You could tell they quit.
You could tell the whole, and here's the thing, after the 15-yard run, that whole stadium, the air just went out of it. Like you could just tell. And then
I almost think that was the air that was the biggest exhale you heard, like the was their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense played so well, and it's one of those
It
games
did.
where it's like, hey, if you're going to hold Ohio State to 20 points,
it did
win the football game.
But, and I think Blake saw it on the last podcast. I finally got animated about this game. I'm usually not animated about this game, but we crushed them and we took their soul. And you know who did it? One of your own. One of your own. He literally put the team on his back on 2 third downs, got a first down, and just honestly rubbed it in your face. So good for you, Penn State. Good for you, PA. Once again, you can't beat us, and we own you. We own you so much, and I
last
love
time
it.
they've beaten one of us.
I mean,
love they beat me in COVID, which I don't think counts, but like
they haven't beat me since
I think the 2019. I think it's a 2019 Mo Bamba game that we lost by like 4 points.
Yeah. 2016. They haven't beat us since 2016. We won 13 of 14 against them. And I'm pretty sure we've won out of the past 25 games, I think 20 games against them. So literally 20-5 in the past 25 games. Total domination. We own you. You can't beat us. James Franklin can't beat us. James Franklin had to get a blocked field goal to beat us the one time. The one time. Now, do I think this is a top 5 win for Ryan Day? It goes down as that. But I think this is probably, in my opinion, the best Ryan Day win because you won on your own terms. You closed this game out and you won in the trenches. You manned up. You sacked the fuck up. Excuse my language. But you sacked the fuck up and you took it to him and you fucking beat him. You fucking beat him. You finally did it your way. We've been called soft all these years, and guess what? On Saturday, we weren't soft.
They were hard.
Finally, so happy about that.
I guess
they were hard. Pause.
Right.
All right, move on.
No. We're not moving on yet. That red zone drive. First and goal on the 3. You could never convince me that 4-hour QB sneak is not a touchdown. I don't care. He's huge, and he was gashing him on the ground all night. I've heard enough of this nonsense. They kept moving that big lineman in motion, and he would just miss people. He would never hit anybody. He hit like one person once. I don't care. Every year, people talk up this Penn State team, and I sit here every year and I go, dude, they suck. I don't care. Every time I tell you that, they suck and I don't care. And I'm right every time. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Like, it just – Michigan did what's it called? We did side quests last year. We're trying to get extra XP on NCAA 25. We're like, don't throw it and get an extra 2,000 XP bonus points. Ohio State, spot them 10 points. See what happens. Let's have some fun. You were given a 10-point lead off the rip. You had 3 points in the red zone.
Yep.
How many trips they have? 3, 4?
They had the one before the half. They had the downs, and then they had the drive to open the game. That's it. They had 3 trips to the red zone.
Michigan looked so much more competent offense than Penn State. I understand it's different opponents, but pretty damn near same tier opponents. Okay, we had no sacks, and we had 2 passing touchdowns. First time
we
in like
scored
a long time.
more points against Ohio State on offense than Penn State did.
There you go. So, Hey, hang the banner.
Nuts. That's nuts. Hang the banner.
Penn State loses in the first round of the playoff at home.
I'm just
that
so
will
lost.
get James Franklin fired.
I'm just. It's starting to ask the big question. It's like, is it like everybody keeps talking about the offense, and I'm like, is it James Franklin's fault really? Because he keeps putting the trust into these offensive coordinators, multiple offensive coordinators, and they look good 11 out of 12 weeks of the year. It's just that one big game. These offensive coordinators look like they've never coached in college before. So it's tough. It's tough to say if it's
the guys.
His fault, if it's his fault or if it's just matchup wise.
I want to say this. There is a guy by the name of Marquise Higgins, who is their wide receiver coach. This dude should not have a job Do you know who their top receiver was in this game?
I mean, obviously Tyler Warren.
No, it wasn't. Wasn't even him.
Because I know for a while they said it was that when Tyler Warren got a completion in the second quarter, like it's the first a receiver outside of running backs to do it. I know it was probably Singleton or Allen.
Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you real quick here. So Drew and Bo combined had 13 completions.
Oh, we got to talk about this real quick.
Hold on.
The Bo shit, it doesn't. Kick it out. Kick it out. They put him in and they try to run this weird sweep with him, and it was so bad. I don't even want to get into it.
Out of 13 completions, how many? And by the way, Marquise Higgins is their new wide receiver coach. He might deserve one more season to see if he can get some 5-star and 4-star wide receiver recruits, because this wide receiving core is terrible. But out of how many 13 completions, how many were completed to a wide receiver?
Like 6,
2 or 3,
maybe
2 or 3.
3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that's nuts.
1 to Julian Fleming, 2 to Wallace. That's it. They had 3 completions, and your leading wide receiver was your running back, Singleton, with 6 receptions.
That's nuts.
He was your leading wide receiver. Tyler Warren had 4. I don't know where Penn State goes, because look, the rest of their schedule I don't think is tough.
No, they have an easier schedule.
And let's look it up here real quick. Washington, which is the whiteout this week, at Purdue, at Minnesota, and Maryland. I'm not so sure they go to Minnesota and win. Walk me back from that, because I'm looking at it and that says loss all over it. The way Minnesota's playing right now, at Minnesota on November 23rd. I'm sorry, but I'm right now picking Minnesota unless injuries happen. And I do have this question for you. Does Drew Allar leave the program and transfer somewhere else and not go to the NFL?
I mean, there's a chance.
They do this whole like semantics argument of who you get to get that's better. Is this working? Yes or no?
No.
If you think it's working, that's your thing. Because Michigan was at the exact same place for a long time, and we finally got it right and won a national championship. And now we have national champion aspirations, and it changed the program. Penn State's aspirations are making the playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to win a playoff game to prove anything.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What if they get the matchup that they want and need? Like, okay, I'm just going to say it. Let's throw it out there. Let's say they host Alabama in a playoff game. They're beating Alabama. So are you banking?
You think they're beating Alabama?
I don't think they will.
If they go 11-1 and they get the 7 seed, and Alabama, I don't even know where Alabama would be.
Bruh, Bama can score better than you. No offense. If Will Howard is running it on them, what the hell is Milroe going to do?
I mean, you got to really look at it. We left points on the board too. Like, there was some golden opportunities.
Sure.
I mean, the fumble out of the end zone, a few other drives that were cut short. The end of the game where we wore them down. If we keep running the ball on them, we're probably going to score on that drive. Like, there was multiple times where you had points on the board. I mean, they scored 6 points offensively. 6 points.
Yeah.
That's it. And one, I believe it was a pretty long field goal that they kicked for their other points. So it wasn't even like they were – it was a 44-yard field goal. So it wasn't like they were even like threatening to score kind of thing.
All right. Now we can move on. Catch up on some of these other games and then talk about this week. Boise State continues to roll. Genty had a pretty good game, 152 touchdowns again.
He had a horrible game at the half.
He had 32 yards at the half, and then
on like 17 carries.
Yeah. And then he just went nuts in the second half.
Yeah. We already talked. Georgia and Florida was very interesting. Florida kind of had Georgia on the ropes, and then they had a quarterback issue where their backup got hurt. And then they were on like a walk-on quarterback or freshman quarterback that had never played, and he was like 7 for 30. But
this
game,
in the first half was Big Ten-esque. I mean, very Big Ten-esque. There was.
I would like it to be known that Ward Manuel is on my screen right now.
There was 7 punts in the first half.
Why?
And there was a bunch of field goals in the first half. I mean, Florida was up 13-6 at half.
Yeah.
And
Florida was winning before their star quarterback died.
Yeah, DJ Lagway died. It was over.
And then everything just fell apart after that, because then there was the fumbles. And I mean, talk about a very sloppy game from these two teams. Dude, if Florida didn't turn the ball over, this is probably a different game. I mean, we can also say the same thing about Georgia, but dude, Georgia had 3 turnovers and they were all bad interceptions by Beck. Bad interceptions. Georgia doesn't scare me at all, honestly.
I believe he has more picks than touchdowns in their last 5-6 games. Someone said some stat out there, but he's bad. They play who do they play next week? Wait, it's this week.
Tennessee.
They play Tennessee
this week.
Yeah.
No, I think they play.
No. They're Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
No, Georgia, Ole Miss. Yeah.
At Ole Miss.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big game.
Very big game.
Ole
Miss had like unbelievable numbers the other day, but we'll touch on that in a second. The next game, Miami Duke. Duke was up 28-17, and
Miami
they
covered.
Absolutely collapsed.
Hold on. Miami covered because once again, the ACC needs Miami undefeated, and these phantom holding calls / non-holding calls that keep coming up in these Miami games are ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd, to be honest with you. It's actually absurd.
Is he the favorite in the Heisman? I can't check it in New York, but I mean, he had 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. He is absolutely balling right now. I mean, he's playing himself in the number 1 pick territory. Cozzi, you want him on the Browns?
No comment.
No comment?
No comment. We'll just move on.
We'll talk draft a bit later, but hey.
Yeah. He is him and Travis Hunter are tied, actually.
Give me a break with Travis Hunter. I don't care. Sorry. Continue.
Next game, Tennessee, Kentucky. Tennessee wins 28-18. They score their first offensive touchdown since September 21st in the first half. That is unbelievable.
First point, not touchdown. First point.
Yes, it wasn't even
worse.
This game was crazy. Kentucky was kind of dominating. Brock Vandergrift gets hurt. In comes Gavin Winstead. Remember him?
Yeah,
and,
from
it was Gavin Winstead and Chip Trainum. And I was like, holy, we live in a simulation. And Tennessee figured out how to play football. They're like, oh, we have the best running back in the SEC, almost in the country. Might as well hand the ball off to Dylan Sampson. Yep, probably a great idea. And he pounded the rock and scored twice.
Yeah.
So I remember at one point I texted Cozzi and Stowe. I go, look, if I was betting right now, I'd put a parlay in right now. Caleb Johnson and Sampson to score touchdowns in the second quarter of both games. They scored maybe 5 minutes later, both of them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, Sampson still does wonders for my fantasy team. Shout out to him. Nico figured out how to play football again, because what happened is the last few weeks started with Arkansas, actually Oklahoma. They're in like a 3-3-5 type thing on defense, and they've done it the last 3 or 4 weeks, and every team's copied it, and Nico can't figure it out. So I think that's what's happened with the defense or the offense. They're starting to figure out a bit, but Tennessee sneaky has a crazy easy schedule. They play Mississippi State this week, so another good game to get right. And then they've got I think they have
Georgia.
Miss. They have Georgia. I don't think they play Ole Miss, but Vandy's a bit tougher. So Tennessee, really looking like they could make some noise here, and they might find themselves in Atlanta, and that'd be the first time they've done that in God knows how long. But they still have Vandy on the schedule. They still obviously have Georgia on the schedule, but no team's unbeatable right now, especially in college football, but more in the SEC. So we'll see.
So just a quick update. I will go through each team as they pop up. Kind of, we'll go through a little bit. The next team that kind of played themselves out of Atlanta, the Cox, the Norris Sellers, the most electric freshman in the country, probably. Absolutely
I think the
unbelievable.
most electric freshman on their country is on their defense, but keep
Yeah.
going.
He plays so good in some games. It's unbelievable.
I hate he took the goggles off. It was way more fun when he had the goggles on.
44-20 over Texas A&M. South Carolina wins at home. I mean, that place is in. If you play there at night, forget about it.
They lost the other top 10 team that faced them a few years ago. Obviously, Tennessee. They beat the hell out of Tennessee.
Yep.
LSU. They should have beaten another top 10 team.
That place, being there, it got loud even during a noon kickoff. At night, could not imagine it. It was rocking. It was loud. It was crazy. I watched every second of it and loved every single second of seeing A&M just get blown away. And I mean, here's the thing. At halftime, it was 20-20. And I was like, this just doesn't feel like 20-20. This feels like South Carolina is handling this game. And then sure enough, it was like, boom, a bomb went off in there. And they just dominated the second half, 24-0. Somebody did pick this as their upset of the week. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
Mine was 7 points. Okay.
All right.
4.
Here we go. 25 through 20. We'll just read them off real quick because I just popped up on my screen. Number 25. I feel like this is very, 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 very disrespectful. The number 25 team in the country is the Army.
They played no one.
I feel like that's still disrespectful.
They played no one.
24 Missouri. 23
See who they
Clemson.
played in a few weeks.
Okay.
They played in a few weeks.
22 Louisville at 6-3, which is crazy. 21 is Washington State, and the number 20 team in the country is the Colorado Buffaloes. All right.
I know why Louisville is there because they're bumping that ACC garbage up.
Yep. And speaking of that ACC, SMU blows out Pitt 48-25. SMU's got it figured out ever since that loss. Kevin Jennings is a beast.
And it wasn't even as close to the final score either.
Yeah.
It wasn't even.
It was a garbage time score from Pitt, right?
Yeah. There was a few garbage time scores from Pitt.
Yeah. So yeah, now we'll just. I mean, I don't. Is there
I
any
have to say it. I had to bring this game up personally. So I lied on Clemson again. Every time I think it's there, they just lose. Not only do they lose,
they got embarrassed. They got embarrassed.
A few times they should have gone for 2 and they didn't.
Speak into the mic, please.
There's a few times they should have gone for 2 and they didn't. It was absolutely unbelievable. Listen, man, I don't know what they're thinking, but it was ugly. Stat-wise, it wasn't bad. I mean, Klubnik threw 33 times, 280 yards. Maffa set 30 carries for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's just this. I don't know. I mean, basically the turning point in this game was it was a field goal for them to go down like 3 or 4 points that they blocked for a touchdown. You know, nice little 10-point swing, and they didn't come back from that. Jeff Brom, man, we tell you every time he's going to beat a top 10 team. I know Clemson doesn't count, but on the road against number 11, I think they were tied for 11, so kind of 10. We thought it could have been last week or a few weeks ago with Miami, ended up being Clemson, and I don't know. I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to think a team like SMU could win the ACC, but
Here we go. Next one. Next grouping: 19 Kansas State, 18 Pitt, 17 Iowa State, 16 Ole Miss, and number 15 is LSU. And we're on.
I just want to say and to confirm, it was a great night in the state of South Carolina on Saturday. Great night.
I'm sure it was.
Now we'll move on to this week's games in the Big Ten.
Quickly, RIP Iowa State, RIP Kansas State. Who else? There's a few other teams that died.
No, they still have a chance though. Iowa State has the tiebreaker over Colorado if they win out.
I understand, but RIP them. Their chance they can make the playoff. They could have gone 11-1, lost the championship game, and gotten in. But
the second team out of the playoff right now, Texas A&M. The first team out of the playoff, the SMU Mustangs. That's where we're at.
So they're hyping up the ACC still.
Oh, they're going to. I mean, there's a chance if SMU beats Miami, they both get in.
I wonder if they're going to rank it normally or if they're going to do the bracket how it would play out.
They're showing both right now.
Oh, okay.
So they're showing all the teams in one bar, and then the bracket next to it. Yeah, we can kind of talk about this week while we're going through. Iowa plays at UCLA on Friday night, 9:00.
Hold on, I need to look at that game. Hold on, I'm pulling
Yeah.
up right now.
Yep.
I'm thinking about making
Boise State, number 12 team. Shocker, not really. Everybody knew that was coming.
Where is it? Big 10.
Number 11, the Alabama Crimson Tide. I never thought I'd see Alabama as a double-digit seed, but here we are.
Okay.
It's nuts.
What game we got next?
He's pulling it up.
Okay.
I want to take UCLA plus 5.5 so bad.
Okay. Well,
no, can't do it. Caleb Johnson's still going to put up his yards.
Next game.
Over.
Minnesota.
We're doing it. Give me the over.
Oh, my God. You're taking the over?
Give me the over. Bro, Iowa's one of the best over teams in the country.
Okay.
Minnesota at Rutgers is the noon game. Minnesota's favored by 6.
Wait, doing it on NBC?
Yeah.
Why is there a noon game on NBC this week? That's weird. Why this is a perfect opportunity for that to be a Peacock-only game.
Well, we only have one
whiteout on Peacock.
Yeah, they put the whiteout on Peacock. The 3:30 game. Oh, wait, we'll just go to the noon game. Purdue at Ohio State.
Wait, let's just go to the 7:00. We'll do our games last.
Okay. I don't even play this week. 7:00 on BTN. Maryland at Oregon.
Okay, I am taking Oregon to cover
the
this.
week.
Yeah, 25 points. Are you kidding me? What's wrong with that line? They're literally Maryland's going across the country.
So if Michigan can throw the ball on you, you would like to think that Maryland could as well. So that's the only thing
They're going across the country.
Give me that over instead. Give me the over instead.
No, I'm taking lock of the week. Oregon is covering that 25. It's going to be like
some shenanigans.
It's going to be like 56-14.
Why is it only like 4 games this week?
Because
that's what I'm saying.
We have a bunch of buys.
6 games.
Yeah. And then Washington at Penn State is the night game on Peacock, the whiteout on Peacock. If you didn't hear me, I said the game is on Peacock.
Actually, yeah, no, scratch that. Penn State lock of the week. This is the classic. Oh, I told you we're good. We win the road game. We were playing the team that made the championship game last year. We're to beat the defending running up team with 25 points. We shut them out 33-0. No one cares.
31-10.
Yeah, they kill them. Lock of the week, Penn State, easy.
Okay, we can move on to other games. Blake, would you like to go first, or would you like to start with noon?
We should start with noon because I don't think that game is going to be close.
Look,
I'm not even going to lie to you right now. I didn't even remember that we played this week. Keep going.
Well, you have a pretty big game, and I believe a few weeks ago you said you were going to show everyone that they were frauds. So we'll see about that.
That Kirk Cignetti guy might be right. He said he was going to go into Michigan and play Michigan.
He's going to beat us in back-to-back weeks. He's got a lot. It's too much dip on his chip.
He has life.
Anyways, Ohio State, Purdue. Man, I should be more nervous about this. Because every time there's a bad Purdue team, they're like our kryptonite. Even when we're at home, there's a bad Purdue team who comes to town and they make it close somehow. Look, it's not going to happen. The line is 38 points. I don't know if we cover it. I think we do. I think that this could be like a 56-0 statement kind of from the defense and the offense. And I'm not sure we air the ball out that much. We might throw 10 passes and we might just impose our will and run the ball every single time. And I wanted to bring this up in the game. I think I argued with someone that Carson Hinsman should have been a starting guard at right guard to start the season, and I got laughed at. Dude is now playing left guard. He's going to stay there, and we're going to have Donovan Jackson left tackle. Perfectly fine with it. He's a good lineman. He was a pretty good center. Love him to be on the line because he's a great blocker no matter what. So, look, this game is – I don't know what Big Noon's thinking. I don't know if they're just like, oh, everyone's going to watch it because it's Ohio State.
Bro, was that or Rutgers, Maryland?
Well, I mean,
When is Colorado?
you mean no, Minnesota Rutgers. You mean
So
Whatever. I don't
Okay.
even care.
look,
so
look,
this is gonna get real
Look.
funky.
look, just blow out this week. I think we take care of business easy. I'm not that worried. 56-0 is my prediction for this game. We win.
So real quick before Blake goes, this is how the seating works in the college football playoff. Now that I can see it, so number 10 is Notre Dame. They're gonna stay at 10. Okay. Number 9 is BYU, but since they're leading their conference, they're number 4. And
Okay.
Indiana is number 8, but they're the 9 seed because they're
Okay.
not.
So
Because
who's
they're not.
the 8th seed?
So then the 8th seed is going to be
Penn State.
the 8th seed is Tennessee. Oh wait, no. The 8th seed is Tennessee at 7, and the 7th seed is number 6 Penn State. And then number 5
Number 6, Penn State.
and number 5 is so it's Indiana versus Tennessee, Notre Dame versus Penn State, Alabama versus Texas. Right?
He's gonna have an aneurysm over here. He's
Indiana, Tennessee. I'll tell you right now, Indiana, line that shit up right now with those cute little pants, that weak ass Assembly Hall. See what's happening.
This is the wrong sport. Number 3 is number 4 Miami.
okay. So Ohio State's 5.
No, Ohio State will be 2. It'll be the
Ohio
fifth
State will
seed,
be Ohio
but
State
yeah.
will be they'll be top 3. There's only
It'll be
3
Georgia
teams
3, Ohio State.
Yeah, but we're
2.
gonna be the 5 seed in the playoffs.
left. No,
Yeah, the free win.
no, you'd be the 4th or the 3rd.
5
3 and
seed.
3.
We can't,
3rd ranked, 5th
we
seed.
can't get a bye.
Oh yeah. So 3 and 5. They'd be number 3 team in the country, but they'd be
So
the 5th
who's
seed.
7 and 10?
7 and 10 is Penn State and Notre Dame. Dude, that's
So Ohio State would host
They would
host
host-
Boise
No,
and then play the winner of Boise State and Notre Dame or Penn State.
no, wrong side of the bracket. They would
No.
play BYU. They play BYU.
We play.
That's what I'm saying. They play BYU in the winner of those 2 games.
No, that's the bottom half.
No,
It
no,
goes
no.
Who does
5.
BYU play?
Okay.
They have a bye.
Yeah,
BYU
but who do they
get
play
them.
after? Oh, they play Ohio State after. I'm done.
Yes.
The winner. Oh, so yeah. It looks like.
Wait, who's the 6th seed
Wait,
again? Penn
wait.
State?
They put Georgia as the number 3 team in the country, so that
Yes.
means Ohio State is the number 2 team in the country,
Yeah.
but the 5th seed. That's
That's
nuts.
what we all. That's what I thought was going to happen.
nuts. I thought they were going to put Georgia by Ohio
No, the
State.
SEC sucks.
That's so weird.
I would
So it'd
almost
be-
say you should put Indiana up there in 3.
So it'd be Boise versus Ohio State. The winner plays
Undefeated.
BYU. Indiana plays Tennessee. The winner plays Oregon. Alabama plays Texas. The winner plays Miami.
Tennessee,
Notre Dame plays
Oregon.
Penn State.
Tennessee, Oregon. Oh my God. Tennessee, Oregon. That'd be a hell of a game.
So yeah, we can move on to the game of the week this week.
Oh, is that me? Dude, heavy is the crown that wears the head of the crown.
Oh, here we go.
Socrates said that once. When I tell you right now that Indiana minus 14 is maybe the freest money of your entire life, this coaching staff has no idea what's going on. And Michigan, again, we're recruiting. We don't care what's going on right now. My entire mental well-being is invested in whether a 17-year-old from Michigan decides to put on maize and blue instead of purple and gold. Yeah, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Michigan's completely lost the plot. They decided not to run anymore. Run finally worked. It is what it is. Look, dude, I don't know or care. Again, it's complete apathy for me at this point. When I told you I didn't know we were playing, I was not lying to you. Like it just totally slipped my mind. I didn't know. I literally said, I was like, do we have a bye week this week or next week? Okay, there's 2 or 3 other games that are on at 3:30. And if you think I'm watching Michigan over Army North Texas, which is gonna be awesome, or Georgia Ole Miss, you're out your goddamn mind. Obviously, I'll have Michigan on like a third screen, maybe on my phone or something. All right, but look, dude, I couldn't tell you one player on Indiana other than Curtis Rourke and Ellison and whoever that is, but they just keep winning. Would it be really funny if Michigan beat them and I would act like the biggest pretentious dickhead that if we beat them? Yes, that'd be hilarious.
You called them frauds 2 weeks ago.
Look, dude, every team's in this conference is a fraud, okay? Because I am trying to live up this year's college football to a less pure version of last year when Michigan won the last national championship that matters. Now that we're in this nonsense where Boise State is going to make the playoff when people would lose one game and be eliminated, what happened to the sport that I love? This is not it. This is not as pure as it once was. Is it more fun? Absolutely. Is there more games for me to watch and enjoy? Yes. Will I have fun in the Music City Bowl against some poverty team? Absolutely.
Can't wait for that to be Michigan versus Vandy in the Music City Bowl.
I think we beat them.
Diego Pavia would cook that defense.
There was a tweet earlier that said
we can't. No, we're not doing all that.
Why? I can't say that. Okay, fine.
No,
we can't do all that. That's a little too far. That's a little.
We are going to have this podcast moving forward. I do not need us cancel.
Man, listen.
That would not be a great topic.
I don't care. Football's over for me. So, but yeah, so we'll see how it happens. You know, we're moving on to basketball season. Dusty May, absolutely balling. 101 points last night. You know, it is what it is. But I'm excited to watch back and see what happens. In all seriousness, the kids are playing tough, real hard, real tough. I thought it was the best game, again, we've seen from Michigan all season. So if the coaches can figure it out, it's sweet. Sharon is talking like we're already fired both coordinators, which makes me very happy. As I was telling everyone, we're tanking for Underwood and give me 2 new coordinators, and it's game over. The North Texas coordinator will be my offensive coordinator next season. Watch them when they upset Army this week. And yeah, it is what it is. Look, I'm not trying to be that guy. There is this kid in North Texas. He is the son of Tyreek Hill. Has to be. No other explanation. His name is DT Sheffield. All right, from North Texas, and this kid's beautiful. We've been watching. If it tells you right now where I'm at, we've moved fully on to watching other teams' offenses to find my new offensive coordinator for next season for all of the elite players we're going to get next year that we're going to buy because the Michigan people looked and were like, you know what? This isn't worth it. We had 1 national championship. We had a great player, one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the universe, came in and blessed us with his appearance at our university for a few years, and we're going to go back to getting elite quarterbacks. So it's great. I love it. 1-year tank. As a Detroit sports fan, all of the teams have been tanking for the greater extent of my entire life. So Michigan winning a title and tanking and then winning the Big Ten the next year would be fine. So I'll see you in this graphic next season. But until then, Dusty May season, baby. Let's roll.
I would like to say, you non-believer in the military academy. I just would like to say that good luck, and I'll remember this next week.
North Texas lock of the week. 5.5 though. That over is free money.
Lock of the week. Indiana -14. Don't overthink it. They're the best team. The hottest team in the Big Ten right now. Hottest team.
What you say?
I wouldn't say best.
That they're better than Oregon.
The people are talking
door to cover against Michigan.
Oregon still might be playing for clicks. Indiana's playing to make history. That's it.
This is just a guy with Stockholm syndrome because his team got dragged around the yard for.
Hey.
Oh, we're actually going to talk about this. Hey,
I left in the third quarter, okay? First game I've ever left in my life, all right? I went and played COD and got cottage and pizza, all right?
There's an image that was circulating.
Okay, we don't need to talk about the nerds.
A certain fan base.
The nerds are nerds. They're going to play.
We're doing this. There's an image of a certain fan base. These good friends were playing Uno in an empty stadium at halftime. I don't ever want to hear anything about it again.
Okay? They're nerds, okay? I don't want to get it too much into it.
Well, I heard a certain
school
school down the road was a bunch of nerds, but we proceed to beat you in all the sports that matter. So carry on.
Except for basketball, 8-24.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be so much fun this year.
We could go band for band right now. You won the title before you were born, and that's all that matters.
Who's the last Big Ten team to win a title? That's right. Okay.
Before you were alive.
Get better.
If
Get
John
better.
Beeline
No, I was
did not
alive.
Get scammed in
I
a
was
game in
alive.
which the team against
I
him
was
cheated,
alive.
and the NCAA actually
Aw.
vacated for everything was wrong.
Aw.
Guess what? Beeline is so much better than Izzo. I swear to God.
That's why he left the program and did nothing.
Did nothing.
What is he doing? No, the Pistons didn't develop. We missed the playoffs for like 12 straight years.
Developing Cade Cunningham. Easy.
He was the developer for the G League team.
And what's John Beeline doing now? He helped with talent acquisition in the portal this year for Dusty May. So
I don't even know what he's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
What was Mark D'Antonio's last game where he was involved with Michigan? He was on the sideline last year, 49-0. No signs, no problem, no lube.
Why is he being brought up? What happened?
Okay. Anyways, I would like to say High State's men's hockey team won both games this weekend.
And Ohio State basketball, belt ass Texas.
And
it was embarrassing. Texas should be embarrassed.
Jake Diebler, baby. And by the way, the quick side note is they look like they got some shooters on this team. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Blake, we need to bring this up. All right. We're going to bring this up. The best player on Ohio State's basketball team is from Oakland and from Detroit, Michigan. Are you surprised by that?
I would argue that. I would say
one of my best players is his best player last year.
Yeah, you're right. You are actually right about that.
It's so funny. The difference that Michigan makes in Ohio.
I'm just going to say this. It looked a little bit shaky because we actually played an exhibition game at UC and we got destroyed. And then we came out and shut the lights out against Texas. So doesn't make any sense. Trey Johnson, though, he was pretty awesome, not going to lie, for Texas. But, I mean, overall, our best player is definitely Bruce Thornton. So, can I say?
He's still there?
Oh, yeah. He's only a junior, by the way. He started freshman year. You got to remember that. He's only a junior.
Yeah, that's always when it gets you.
Yep. So, it feels like he's been there a lot longer. But we had this guy, John Mobley Jr., come off the bench. And, I mean, he was lights out. Like, could not miss. Big spark. This other guy, Bradshaw, dude, he is a force to be reckoned with in the paint. He has no offense, but he'll play defense. So, other than that, that's my quick wrap up about Ohio State.
You're not going to mention our boy, Michael Parrish.
I mean, he did get hurt though, which is kind of concerning. I don't know how bad it was.
They interviewed him at the end of the game. I just know that.
Yeah, he had look, the whole team as a whole, they looked like they were moving the ball much better. The first half, they actually had a total of 12 made field goals and 10 were 3 points. So, but then the second half, they made it a point to get in the paint and score in the paint. So good halftime adjustments. Texas literally couldn't kind of control us. So,
yeah. First, we'll talk about the big deal at hand because it just started 2 months ago.
Michigan sweeping BU this weekend.
Yeah, that was beast. That was pretty good.
10-3 on aggregate. Who's counting though?
Shout out to the Maction. It's back right now. Right now. Like it just started.
Recording.
Yeah. Shout out to the Maction. Best college football in all the land. We got 2 games tonight, 2 games tomorrow. And then we got some pretty good games this week. Let's see. What do we got? Georgia Ole Miss, like Blake already said.
Yep.
Clemson, Virginia Tech. That should be all right. LSU, Alabama.
Yeah, interesting. That's a pretty big game. That's kind of an elimination game.
There's a hurricane coming. It would be a real shame if planes were delayed.
So, and then BYU, Utah. That's always an interesting one.
The Holy War.
Yeah. So I don't really think we have much else. Kind of a slower week. Only 6 Big Ten games. Kind of sucks, though.
Yeah, this is a watch the superior conference for the week. The week only SEC.
Yeah.
Watch some fun games.
Yeah. And watch Maction. And watch teams Dreams get crushed during the week.
Colorado, Texas Tech. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Vandy. Vandy's a home dog to SC. Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah, I took Vandy outright against Auburn, and they dominated.
You did. I can confirm.
And yeah, it was a good game. They're like 7-point underdogs, and they dominated. So
I think that's all we got.
I think that's all we got.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
As always, go Bucks.
Peace.
Yep.